In a small village, nestled between modest farms and a dusty road, lived Mulla Nasruddin, a simple man with a big heart. Mulla's days were filled with the joys of family life, his stern but caring wife, his mischievous teenage son, and his ever-confused donkey. Their home was small and humble, with a thatched roof and a creaky door, but it was filled with laughter and love. Mulla was content with what he had, though his adventures often brought him more trouble than he ever expected.
One fine morning, Mulla Nasruddin set off on a great mission to buy a goat from the city market. With a wide smile on his face and dreams of finding the perfect goat, he left his home, waving goodbye to his family. His donkey trotted lazily behind him, unaware of the long walk ahead. He was in high spirits. The city lay just a few miles ahead, and the promise of a fine goat filled his heart with excitement.
After a long journey, Mulla finally reached the market and found exactly what he was looking for: a healthy, sturdy goat. He haggled with the seller, convinced he was getting a fine deal. But as he counted his coins, little did Mulla know, his innocent nature had caught the attention of some less than honest eyes. 3 thugs, lurking in the shadows of the market, had noticed Mulla. They whispered among themselves, their eyes gleaming with a mischievous plan.
The 3 thugs couldn't believe their luck. "Look at him," whispered the tallest thug, his scruffy beard barely hiding a crooked grin. "He doesn't have a clue." Thug 2, "We can easily fool this one. He'll believe anything we say." Thug 3, "We'll start by confusing him. Make him doubt what he's bought," he sneered. With a plan in mind, the 3 of them chuckled darkly and prepared to approach the unsuspecting Mulla.
Narrator. Mulla was just about to leave the market when the first thug, tall and lanky, stepped in front of him with a cunning smile. Thug 1, with a sly tone. "Say, how much did this dog cost you?" Mulla stammering slightly. "Dog? No, this isn't a dog. This is a goat." Mulla's confusion was evident, but he chuckled nervously, sure that the man was just mistaken. Thug 1, shrugging casually. "Well, if you say so. If you think it's a goat, then let it be a goat." The thug walks away with a smirk, leaving Mulla scratching his head in doubt.
No sooner had Mulla taken a few steps when the second thug appeared in front of him. He looked at the goat, then back at Mulla, with a look of mock admiration. The thug smirks, pretending to be impressed. Thug 2, in a playful tone. "Oh, what a fine dog you've got there. How much did this beauty cost you?" Mulla, raising his voice. "Dog, are you blind? This is a goat. Can't you see it's a goat?" Mulla was starting to lose his patience. First one man, now another, both calling his goat a dog. What madness was this? The thug burst into sarcastic laughter, slapping his knee in amusement. Thug 2 laughing loudly. "Oh, what days we live in. A goat is a dog, and a dog is a goat. God only knows what will happen next." The thug walks away, still chuckling to himself, leaving Mulla fuming and more uncertain than ever.
As the second thug walked away, his laughter still echoing in Mulla's ears, Mulla stood frozen, holding the rope of his goat. But something had changed. A cloud of doubt had settled over his mind. Mulla, thinking to himself, eyes wide with uncertainty. Could it be? Did I make a mistake? Did I actually buy a dog instead of a goat? The more he thought about it, the more confused he became. 2 people had called it a dog. Surely they couldn't both be wrong. Mulla began to question his own judgment, a creeping feeling of foolishness swirling inside him. Mulla, still thinking, now pacing in circles. I was so sure it was a goat. I saw it with my own eyes. But what if they're right? What if I've been fooled? Mulla's once happy and confident demeanor was crumbling. He had set out to buy a fine goat, but now he was no longer sure of anything.
Mulla Nasruddin stood there completely lost in his thoughts, unsure of everything. His heart was heavy with doubt, and his mind raced in circles. He stared at the goat. Or was it a dog? He wasn't sure anymore. Just then, the third thug, the slyest of them all, approached with a smirk. Thug 3, in a smooth, friendly tone. Well, what a cute little dog you've got there. Will you sell it to me? I'll give you a good price." Mulla's heart sank. That was it. 3 people had called his goat a dog. There was no way they could all be wrong. Panic set in, and his doubt turned into a full-blown fear. He had done the unthinkable, bought a dog, not a goat. The thug took a step closer, his eyes gleaming with amusement, sensing Mulla's inner turmoil. Mulla, thinking to himself, trembling with worry. Oh no, I've made a terrible mistake. It's true, I've bought a dog instead of a goat. What will my family think? What will the villagers say? His mind racing, Mulla's grip on the rope loosened, his hands shaking. Thug 3, laughing softly, adding to Mulla's panic. So, will you sell me this dog, or will you take it home? But Mulla couldn't take it anymore. The fear and confusion overwhelmed him. Without a second thought, he dropped the rope, leaving the goat behind on the ground, and turned to run. Mulla Nasruddin, his heart pounding, bolted down the road, his donkey chasing after him, kicking up dust as they disappeared into the distance. Fearing the worst, Mulla ran as fast as his legs would carry him, certain that he had bought a dog instead of a goat. He didn't even stop to look back. Behind him, the third thug stood laughing, holding the goat's rope, utterly pleased with how easily Mulla had been tricked.
Mulla Nasruddin had never run so fast in his life. By the time he reached home, he was out of breath, his heart pounding, and his mind still tangled in confusion. He stumbles inside, still panting, and his wife steps forward, her eyebrows furrowed with concern. Wife, frowning, hands on hips. Mulla, what happened? Where's the goat? Mulla, stammering, clearly shaken. It wasn't a goat, it was a dog. His wife stares at him in disbelief. Mulla, voice trembling. I swear I bought a goat. I saw it, touched it, but then these 3 men came. Each one said it was a dog. First one, then the second, and finally the third one. Wife, shaking her head, confused. What? A dog? But you went to buy a goat, didn't you? Mulla, sounding defeated. Yes, I did. But they kept saying it was a dog. And after the third man asked, I couldn't take it anymore. I panicked. I threw the goat, the dog, and ran home. Mulla's wife listened carefully, but as the story unfolded, a mix of concern and frustration crossed her face. She couldn't believe her ears. Mulla had let 3 strangers convince him that a goat was a dog. Mulla, nodding, voice small. They all said it. I didn't know what to do. I think I really bought a dog instead of a goat.
Mulla's wife stood there for a moment, watching her husband crumble under the weight of his confusion. She knew him well, knew that beneath his sometimes gullible nature was a good heart, but one too easily swayed by others. She sighed and then spoke, her voice firm but caring. Wife, crossing her arms and looking Mulla straight in the eye. Mulla, listen to me carefully. It doesn't matter what other people say. You should always believe in yourself. Mulla lifts his head slightly, looking up at his wife, still unsure. Her voice carried the weight of wisdom, the kind that comes from years of watching, learning, and knowing the world. She knelt down beside him, her tone softening but staying firm. Wife, continuing calmly but sternly. People will always try to confuse you. They will say things to shake your confidence, to make you doubt what you know is true. Cut to Mulla, his eyes wide with uncertainty, absorbing her words. Mulla's wife, placing her hand gently on his shoulder. You need to be firm with your conscience, Mulla. Trust your own judgment. You knew that you bought a goat. You saw it, didn't you? Mulla nods slowly, starting to realize where she's going. Mulla, quietly. Yes, I did. Mulla's wife smiled softly, sensing that her words were finally sinking in. Wife, her voice steady. Then why let 3 strangers tell you otherwise? The truth was always in front of you. Trust yourself, Mulla, because if you don't, the world will lead you astray. Mulla, with a slow, reflective nod. You're right. I let them confuse me. I should have trusted myself. Wife, with a knowing smile. Next time, Mulla, don't let anyone make you question what you know. Believe in yourself.
The 3 thugs who fooled Mulla Nasruddin are not just people from the outside world. Often they are ghosts that live inside our own minds. These ghosts have names: doubt, self-pity, and lack of courage. They are the voices that make us question ourselves, feel sorry for our failures, and hold back from taking action. But in this world of our mind, we have two true friends: self-confidence and clear thinking. These are the companions that can guide us to our goals. Believe in yourself. Trust your own abilities. If you don't, success will always stay out of reach. To achieve your dreams, you must silence those inner doubts and take the first step with courage.
Your subscription and likes are valuable for me. It's what needed to create more stories like this. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.